Tonight, as usual, Metal is with me, and tonight we have a special guest. We have Ryan from BRIC-A-BRAC. He has a
Mhm.
book on Indiegogo. So here he is. Uh, why do I always have a hard time with it? So how is everybody doing tonight?
Excellent.
I'm doing great.
There we go. This way they can see both. Oh no, I'm muted that way. The Metal Talks he can come up.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. I'm important.
Yeah. Um. So, what got you into comics, uh,
Me,
Ryan?
yeah, me. I kind of got into them a little later in my life. I would say that I really point to the New 52, DC New 52 as my jumping on point, really, because I feel like a lot of the stories there, although there's a lot of controversy with a lot of the changes, and obviously now it's almost like it never happened. If you look at continuity, it's almost like the New 52 never even happened because they've been trying to redo things or bring back characters, and finally they just said we're just back to what things were. But
Yeah.
it was really, really fun to read the Batman stuff, the Animal Man, or Batman and Robin, or Aquaman. The characters I'd never really known a lot about, but yet the Justice League. It was a good jumping on point. I know that sounds kind of cliche because it wasn't successful as people they wanted it to be, but I thought that a lot of the stories were good, and it was a great jumping on point, and it kind of got me into liking characters like obviously Batman, but also Superman, kind of looking at like Superman Birthright, or a lot of the great Superman stories that we all know, and whatever happened to the Truth, Justice, and American Way, or those great Superman stories. It just kind of gave me that launch pad into kind of reading more books, and I would say the New 52.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Not my jumping on point. As you said, it's controversial. The New 52. Uh, I wasn't a big lover of it because it sort of messed up everything that was there for like I don't know 20 years or something like that. Since like
Yeah.
1985 to till they did it. I forget when they did that New 52. When they started
It was
that.
about 2011, I think, 2012. Yeah.
Okay, so I've read all most of those books too. So
Mhm.
I just don't like how they messed up the histories and all that.
Yeah, it's
You squish four Robins into 5 years.
right. Batman got hit the worst, I feel like, because
Him,
he has a lot of history there.
yeah, him and the Green Lantern got hit
Mhm.
a lot too. So what made you want to decide to write a comic?
Yeah, so I think I just got really, I wanted to know, how do people do this? How does this happen? Because I really loved, it's what made me fall in love with reading. And I guess I was just like, I want to know how to make this. I want to know how to put these books together in a professional way. And I guess I just kind of started to do it on my own. And I didn't necessarily want to write Batman or Superman, or I really wanted to do my own characters, because I realized with these Batman characters, you have a lot of limitations with what you can kind of do with them. And also it's really difficult to obviously write for them in general. So I just started creating my own things.
Or at least you should have limitations with it. A lot of people don't pay attention to that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because then they would say Batman does so many crazy things, but I just kind of realized, maybe I should write my own stories, my own characters that I own. And that was kind of the inception of that. I just, and I realized I wasn't really good at drawing, so I should probably focus on the production, the writing, the lettering. And then, I also write prose stories. I write books. I make, I write screenplays and movies and stuff of that nature. But, comic books are really my main love, although it's definitely a labor of love to make them happen. It's very difficult. And Even if you look at my crowdfunding page, it's very difficult to make it happen. I have a lot of successes, but also failures in comic books because that's the road. And as you said that you are starting your crowdfunding journey, you will. I mean, I'm sure you've already known this, but it's very difficult and not for the faint of heart. Comic books are really hard to make.
Yeah. Well, they're sort of easy to make. It's hard to get produced because you need the moolah.
Yeah, money is huge. When you have a camera, you can still make something competent, sort of. When you're writing books, you can do anything. But comic books is like one of those special mediums where you really have to bring your money forward, or nothing's going to happen. And it's hard.
It combines a few different mediums. It combines writing and artistic stuff. So if you're not good at one, you need to hire somebody to do the other, and that's not always easy.
It's not easy, yeah. And finding the artist, and then hoping to God that the artist doesn't, kind of like rip you off, or there's so many factors that go into it.
Yeah. Which sort of brings the question up: how did you meet your artist, or how did you find your artist?
So I have two artists involved in this book. So one is the interior artist Raphael Sam, who does the interiors. Let me get my copy here. I have it somewhere. But yeah, he does the interiors. And then there's the guy who does the cover, Tom Barton, and he's doing a backup story in issue 2. And so Tom is from the UK, and Raphael is from Recife, Brazil. And basically, I found Raphael through ArtStation. Now, if any of you guys listening are comic book writers or they're looking for collaboration, ArtStation is where you should be, because not only does it culminate, just a lot of different comic book art. There's literally sections for comic book art. You just look at them, once a week and try to find out, hey, does this person's art look good? Does this person? And it's a website built for business, for commission, for collaboration. And DeviantArt maybe used to be that, but this ArtStation is amazing. And so I would definitely persuade people to use it, because you'll probably find your guy or gal. So I found him 2 years ago through that, and we decided we would work on this project together. Tom, the cover artist and the backup story artist, I found him through a anthology we were in together. We were published in together, and I basically reached out to him and said, hey, I'm in this, and we should work on something together. And so we've done many things. We made our own motion comic together. We made several small short stories together. And so I've collaborated with both of them for a while now.
Uh-huh. And I guess, how did you come up with the idea of BRIC-A-BRAC? BRIC-A-BRAC.
Yeah, so BRIC-A-BRAC. Yes, I love Christmas, and I think that I really love the Rankin Bass movies, and I've always wanted to kind of like make a story that's like a little bit more mature than the Rankin Bass movies, but also it's almost like it was the very last stand of like. It was the very last Rankin Bass movie. Like, what would that look like? And I wanted to make it something that was intergalactic. It had battles. It had, drama. It had, it was kind of like a soap opera, kind of like a Star Wars plus Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer mix-up. I've never seen that before. I think people are craving that because at least people who like Christmas, it seems like something that they would really like. And I like it. I know that I like it. And usually I think that what I like, although I have weird taste, I think someone else, at least one other person would like it. And so that's kind of the culmination of this book, is just, it's bringing a lot of those Rankin Bass characters with different, obviously, changes, because I can't use their characters, but they are, Jack Frost, people you're familiar with in Christmas mythology. Good King Wenceslas, Jack Frost, Father Christmas, the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future, but they're very different than what you've known them before, and there's also a war going on this planet Christmas that the story is based on. And so it's very different than anything I think you've ever seen before. And so that's the inception of it, was really just kind of bringing things that are familiar and making something new. Really.
Oh, to say? Okay, so this is obvious. Well, this for people that don't know, this is the second one. Jokingly saying chat. Well, just a couple people saying what's up. We're talking with Ryan Haack from BRIC-A-BRAC, which is number two. Well, number one, and of course number two, which is now on Indiegogo. And there's a link in the description for that, and for his Twitter, for his don't say it in there. Your Instagram.
Yes.
So put a few things in there, in links for that for people. That way they can get in touch with you easy enough. So with this being the second book, do you need to have read the first one? Do you need to buy the first one? How much of a connection with the?
Yes, I would say yes, you do need to buy the first one because it is just a 3-part story. It's almost like this is Act 2 and this would be Act 1. So our characters in this one, really, they get set off on the journey. And then with issue 2, it's really about conflict between characters, new characters that bring conflict, settings that bring conflict. And I've said it before, but the characters will really be tested by the end of the story. And so that's just, as with every act 2 of any story, the characters will really be tested. And it's obviously a children's story. It's not like it's going to be anything that will challenge you, probably. But it's going to be, it's really emotional. It's about things that I think are really important. We have 2 characters that are drastically different from each other in age that are the main characters. So we have our main character, Garrett, who is 10 years old, and then a leader of a militia that's trying to help him through the planet, who's like 15 years older than he is. So clearly they have different goals. And so they have a lot of, and they're very different mindsets. And so they butt heads all the time because they're trying to find Father Christmas, but for totally different reasons. Yeah. And so that's kind of some of the conflict too that we'll see. And so, you do have to. I would say you do have to read issue 2. It's not like you're going to be completely lost,
but you will issue be. 1.
Yeah, issue 1. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Metal, you have any questions or thoughts or whatever?
Yes, I do. But before that, Evan had a question for you, Rick.
Okay.
And he wants to know if you are jealous of his Leslie-ness.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, but so I've seen you around. I remember when you were promoting things for the first BRIC-A-BRAC. I think I even saw you on Indie Dave's channel. And I was kind of fascinated with the world you were building up, especially because I saw that picture of the planet.
Yes.
Right? And the thing that fascinated me, I even asked you about this in that chat, was about like the scale of the things coming out of the planet and if it was like actually like that on the planet. And I thought that was amazing that you were just going like full ham with it, like just all the way as if things were real. And your world is actually a very interesting one. And I would like to know a little bit more about that and what you can share.
Yes. One of the main goals was just to make a fully fleshed Christmas world. And all these movies, the Rankin Bass movies, the Polar Express, the this, the that, it's always like it's a very generic, very generic snowy wonderland, which is great. And I think there's definitely room for that in a lot of Christmas stories. But I want to see a Christmas world. What does a Christmas beach look like? What does a Christmas forest look like? What does an underwater population of Christmas people look like? What is it like in a Christmas Atlantis? What does that look like? And so, what does a desert in a Christmas planet look like? And so that's kind of some of the questions that we are answering with this story. We're going to a lot of different settings in issue 2. Not only are we going through the forest, which is a poinsettia forest, which has massive, different things that you've never seen before in a forest, really trying to, just bring new ideas to the Christmas mythology. Maybe we'll succeed with some, maybe we'll miss the mark on others, but it's just about making a fully fleshed Christmas world that's like believable that's believable. It's believable these characters live in. I'm not asking you to believe the world exists because obviously this is a high fantasy story. I'm asking.
Yeah, you're looking for something that feels organic to the world itself and to the characters. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sort of reminds me, because I began thinking, quite some number of years back, what would they do in like Hawaii, whatever? They don't have snow, so I created Sandy, the snow Sandman, or Dusty the Sandman. So they're Frosty, if you are. I
Yes.
just started trying to translate Frosty the Snowman to Dusty.
Right.
Dusty the Sandman. There must have been some magic in that old grass skirt they found when they placed it upon his hips. He began to dance around.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that you're asking these questions. I think any good writer should be asking the questions before the audience gets a chance to. And obviously, you're not going to ask everything, but some people, they just kind of get into a groove and they're not even like thinking about like, well, how would this interact with this, or how would this happen? And I think you really need to be asking those questions as a writer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that I want to make this story for kids and adults. It is. It's kind of, we're trying to go for that Pixar that appeals to both adults and children. Although that's very difficult to do. There's not going to be fart jokes, but there's also not going to be serious adult themes. We're trying to kind of hit like a happy medium. I think I want to make it feel like one of those classic movies. One of those Rankin Bass movies you just never saw, like the one that you just didn't see. I wanted to kind of feel like that, and there's not going to be musical numbers, which there were in those, those movies, but it is going to have the same integrity, the same kind of journey, and the characters are going to, I'm not. The characters are going to be not necessarily similar, but I think undergo similar challenges. And, so I just really want to make an ode to those really great, I think they teach a lot of good lessons, moral lessons. You look back at like, what is it? The Year Without a Santa Claus, or
The Year Without a Santa Claus is my favorite.
Yeah. Just had the really good moral lessons, kind of just about life, or not necessarily just about Christmas and all the lessons you hear about, like, oh, you shouldn't Christmas is not that great because it's not about the presents. You always hear that. That's obviously a very common thing, but with this story I want to make it more deeper than that. That's obviously the common Christmas theme, is it's not all about the presents, it's all about this, it's all about family, it's all about love, and that is true. But our main character Garrett is going to go on a journey that will define Christmas for him. We when we're 10 years old, we go down that road where we're like, okay, well, we don't believe Santa Claus is real anymore. What does Christmas mean to me? What does it mean? And we either hate it. Some people I know hate it. Some people I know just are indifferent about it. But once you reach a certain age, it becomes different. And so our main character is at that age. He definitely is. So it's going to be interesting to see him kind of go through the world, and especially in this issue, really undergo some real challenges that test his belief in Santa, belief in Father Christmas, belief in the world, the planet, and the goodness of it. I just think that we're trying to tell a more challenging story with this one. But the goal is to make it feel like a Rankin Bass movie you just never saw.
Well, I think Christmas is the perfect subject for something like that too, when you want to make a story that's for both kids and adults, because the best way to do that without being cheap is to make the adults use something endearing so they want to be a kid again, right? You're going to put yourself back in those shoes, and there's nothing better as a subject for that than Christmas.
Right.
One question from the chat is, will it be delivered by Christmas?
Well, yes. If we succeed with this campaign, we will be able to fulfill by Christmas. But if I do have to relaunch, which if I fail this campaign, I'm going to relaunch every single month until Christmas. I mean, I just want this book to happen very desperately. I want it to happen. If that does have to happen, no, it will not be delivered by Christmas. There's no way. But if we do succeed with this one, I believe there is an opportunity. I know that we can do that. But unfortunately, if I don't get the support, I do not believe that we can make it happen by Christmas. So.
And Evan thinks I'm ignoring. I'm not ignoring you, Evan.
Actually, Evan is very upset right now because he's like, wait, Santa isn't real? Tell this guy that he ruined my childlike innocence.
Evan asked, "Does this guy read?" I think he does. He's a writer. He has to read what he's writing. So
Yes.
Well, you have to read to be able to write.
yeah.
Yes, you definitely have to read every day, for sure. 100%.
But I think we should actually maybe take a look at the campaign as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah. No, okay, so BRIC-A-BRAC 2, a fantasy Christmas story. As the war on planet Christmas escalates to incalculable heights, a boy must defend his home.
Yes.
Yeah. So the
But,
Christmas,
yeah.
well, there's BRIC-A-BRAC. I guess that's which one? Is this the title page?
This is the main cover. This is the cover.
Yeah, okay. Just because I didn't see BRIC-A-BRAC on it, that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, yep. Yep, that is the main cover.
And there is a video for this.
Uh-huh.
Can you try and play it metal or?
I'll actually be right back. I have to go do something. Take me a couple minutes.
Okay, I'll see whether I can play this, and hopefully everybody will be able to hear it.
The Nutcracker.
Oops, I didn't mean to go.
The Nutcrackers' War has left the inhabitants of Planet Christmas hopeless and desperate for heroes. Dozens of provinces and villages have been taken over by General Almond and his evil soldiers who aim to rule the planet and capture all the Christmas spirit that's left. But out of nowhere, a new hope has arisen. Our young hero Garrett is on a quest to find Father Christmas, who he believes is the only man that might have the power to dismantle the war completely. Garrett and a leader of the small but mighty Christmasville militia could be the only chance the planet has at returning to its jolly old self. But several questions remain. Where's Father Christmas, and why has he not stopped the war already? Who is Jack Frost, and what dark partnership did he have with General Almond? And what evil lurks behind the drawbridge of Castle Wenceslas? Raphael Sam will once again be the interior artist of this second issue. I, Ryan Haack, will continue to write the story, and Tom Barton, our great cover artist, will draft the 5-page backup story, The Tragedy of Jack Frost, as well as drawing the variant and main cover of the second issue. BRIC-A-BRAC is back and better than ever. Please help us make this a reality.
That was good. Did everybody out there see that?
I don't think they heard it, but maybe I'm not sure. But yeah, we saw it though. Yep.
Okay. So,
The Nutcrackers' War.
Okay. Seeing what there's. Okay, it's still on that. I'm not sure whether they seen or heard it. Let me guys know if you saw or heard that. Whether I goofed up. If I goofed up, we'll show it again in a few minutes. And so, last fall, the first issue of BRIC-A-BRAC successfully funded on Indiegogo. We met our main character, Garrett and Marie, as they embarked on their journey to find Father Christmas and save Christmas from impending doom. The doom almost single-handedly was brought by General Almond and his army of nutcrackers who were determined to take over the planet and steal its resources. Cool. Issue 2 continues the epic story while adding more characters and obstacles. You'll meet new characters like the ominous Jack Frost, the evil Caesar Demetrius, and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And issue 2 will be a 30-page comic book written by Ryan here, featuring the interior art of Raphael Sam, and the comic book will also include a 5-page backup story. So 35 pages in all?
Well, actually, the 30 pages includes the backup story. Yep.
Okay, so 25 for the main story, plus
exactly
5-page backup story, which is good.
Yeah.
And here's some of the art.
I'll be honest, I left to go get food.
Anything you can tell me about? Well, maybe can you tell us anything about the new characters appearing without
About
giving it?
sorry, what? So about what? About this page here?
Well, either this page, I guess.
Yeah. So right in this page, we have a confrontation between Jack Frost, in his kind of like gorilla-like form, and then General Almond. So if you read the first issue, it basically starts with the Nutcrackers taking over Garrett's home, which is Sugar Plum Cove, and they take it over because they're trying to find the resources underneath it, the Christmas spirit underneath it. And because there's this kind of energy that manifests under a lot of Christmas villages and Planet Christmas, and it's very valuable to them. And for reasons we'll get into later. But basically on one of the first pages in the book, the main Nutcracker goes to one of these, goes underneath Sugar Plum Cove and finds frozen, all the Christmas spirit frozen. And so he knows that Jack Frost did that, so he couldn't take it. So he couldn't, so they couldn't harvest the resource. And so he goes to Jack Frost in that first page to basically say, hey, why did you do that? Why did you team up with these kids? And why are you trying to save them? And they basically fight because obviously that angers the main Nutcracker because he wants the resources. Jack Frost is trying to freeze them so he can't get them. So that's the first page. It's kind of complicated, but and that's why I say that it is important to kind of read issue 1.
Yeah.
Right, because you kind of...
Yeah. Christopher C. saying, I'm wondering where all the fallen goose-stepping Christmas soldiers with candy cane crutches, I guess, are. I think he could be. Is he joking, or I'm not sure whether he might have read number 1 or not. Who has the? Go ahead.
I'm not sure what he's referencing there.
Okay.
I think he's referring to the soldiers as Nazis, Christmas Nazis. Yeah. Goose stepping, the high step.
Oh, I see. Well, I will just say that the Nutcrackers are kind of being manipulated by an outside source. They're not quite sure. They're not doing. Yeah, they're not quite. They don't quite understand exactly what they're collecting the resource for. They're doing it for someone else, who will be able to who will be revealed in this issue. He's he's from another planet, and he's been kind of controlling them because they want to take over the planet, and he wants the resources. So it's kind of complicated. They're being manipulated though to do what they're doing, and so I kind of feel bad for them at some degree because they're really going to get screwed by the end of the story because they just are not smart. They're not very tactical, smart. Nutcrackers are not very gifted soldiers. Yet they're gifted with this new technology from this guy outside of outside of the planet that is kind of manipulating them to do his bidding, basically. So it's going to be very interesting for people to get to that backstory. There's a lot more going on with the Nutcrackers than we realize. They're not just bad guys. They're kind of just like, just kind of working for someone they don't quite understand. And so people will definitely I think people will be very interested by who this guy is, what his intentions are. And in the third issue, it will culminate with this guy really being the main bad guy.
Cool. Can you tell us anything about your version of Jack Frost? Maybe giving away too much of the story?
Yeah, for sure. So Jack Frost initially starts kind of like a bard. He, as you see in one of the pages I have for you, have presented, he's playing his flute for these animals, and everything's very happy. And this is before the war. But something happens to him, and he makes an alliance that he deeply regrets, that ends up hurting a lot of his friends. And he transforms into this King Kong ice creature because of a reason I'll just kind of, you guys don't have to read the book to find out. But he transforms from that bard kind of like figure that he's blue and his skin is scaly and he has the flute, to this monster. And so there's a lot going on with that. But I think he's a very tragic character. The backup story that features him is called The Tragedy of Jack Frost, and it will give backstory to his transformation, his who he was before all of this war, and it will also give more backstory into the war itself. So that is kind of what I will say about him.
So you're not going to leave us hanging. You're going to at least fill you in by the end of the book.
Exactly, 100%. And he will be redeemed because he's a character who's already been trying to redeem himself by helping the young children who are under attack by the Nutcrackers. But, he struggles. He struggles because he has made some really nasty alliances that he's not very proud of. And so it'll be interesting to see his transformation. And, that's a character I'm really excited to show people with issue 2.
Okay. Anything you can tell us about Caesar Demetrius?
Well, he's the bad guy. He's the main bad guy who has been manipulating the Nutcrackers to do his bidding. And I will just say that he's asking the Nutcrackers to collect this resource to power a machine that he has created. And he realized that Planet Christmas has this resource. He wants it. So he's going to take the most vulnerable people, the Nutcrackers, who have for generations been serving Father Christmas. He's going to take them and use them to harvest this resource. He does. And it's kind of just he uses them to do that. And that's kind of all I will really give away about him. But he's very evil. And he's really the main bad guy.
Okay.
Because the Nutcrackers, they've always just wanted an opportunity to prove themselves, to take, and there's just the main Nutcracker, the main general, he's just a little screw loose. And when he's given the opportunity and the weapons and the power to take over Planet Christmas, he does, because he's always wanted that opportunity. And so, obviously he does a lot of horrible things. He ransacks and destroys a lot of villages and hurts a lot of people in the process. But I think some people will sympathize for him and the Nutcrackers when they find out the truth.
Yeah. And what about the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future?
Yes, well, they are I can say that the narrator of the story is the Ghost of Christmas Present. Okay. And also the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future, they will be revealed in this story, and they have a big role in kind of just revealing things to our characters, and because they know all things. This version of them, kind of like a genie, and they actually come out of a genie's a lantern, or I don't know, what is it called?
Bottle, lantern.
Yeah, a lantern, exactly. They come out of a genie's lantern, or like a lantern kind of thing, kind of like Aladdin. We're going for
an oil lamp.
Exactly, like kind of like 1,001 nights. We're trying to kind of go for that kind of vibe with them because I want to kind of
the genie's lamp is specifically the term you're looking for.
Exactly. And so yes, they are. They kind of in that they're all connected. So it's a very different version of the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future you've seen. Obviously in a lot of versions of the Christmas Carol, the Ghost of Christmas Future is rather scary, and even the Ghost of Christmas Present is scary too, depending on which version of the Dickens movie that you see. But with this, they're not scary at all. They're just different, and so I think people will really enjoy them. They're kind of like the comic relief.
Okay.
Yeah, or like in Scrooge, where she's just annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Christopher says, "Damn Nazi Christmas soldiers and a tragic villain, an exploitation of Planet Christmas. Is this a children's book?" I think he's joking around.
It is a children's book. Yeah, it is a children's book. But again, I don't want to make the plot more complicated than most, for example, Rankin and Bass movies, because I think that kind of, especially giving characters more of an arc, more of like a, especially having a character who's kind of, who needs redemption. We have a character who's going on a long journey. We have, a character who kind of betrays another character. I kind of want to make it a little bit more complicated. Obviously, we go a lot of places in this story, a lot more than you could probably in a 1 hour movie. And because it's a comic book, we can't have that ability to do that. So yeah, I would just say that it is a kid's book, though, definitely.
He says sounds awesome, but he did have another comment before that.
Yeah.
He said, "Is Rudolph a Jigsaw type character in the book?" Well, there begs the question: is there a Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, in the book?
There is not a Rudolph. There are actually only 2 reindeer. Because we're going with the kind of Father Christmas image instead of the Santa Claus. Because I want to make it feel like this is a habitable place. And
So Odin's alter ego.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. Because that's right. Because I remember, that Father Christmas is kind of based on Odin and that myth, and so especially the reindeer. If you look at in this book, there's if you can see this is kind of an image of the Father Christmas in the book, and you can see he's next to 2
Are you showing
super roided. Yeah.
Okay,
if you can see.
Give me a second. They can't see it because of.
It's because he has the campaign highlighted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now everybody should be able to see you. Okay.
Yeah, he definitely has that classic Father Christmas vibe too.
Right.
I like that.
And then, but you can see the reindeer are definitely different. We kind of wanted to go for like a Pokemon, if it was like their absolute evolved form as Pokemon, like what would they look like?
Or like if they were legendaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Arceus or something like that.
They're just super big, super massive, and they really look kind of believable. Like they could actually inhabit a world like this, and obviously, and they could travel around it. Whenever Father Christmas decided he wanted to give people presents or whatnot, and so yeah, we wanted to make it kind of like that. That's kind of the Father Christmas we're going for, and yeah, they're just it's Donner and Blitzen, just the two reindeer. Just kind of doing their thing. And
well, the better question is, can the reindeer move faster than light, or does time just slow down around them?
I don't know. I think I like to think that I like to think it's kind of just maybe they just move faster than light. I would say because there's an escape scene in this first issue actually where there's an example. They do actually kind of like go into light speed. You can kind of go into like a light speed sort of thing where they're trying to escape from the Nutcrackers. And they do kind of go into like a light speed. So yeah, I would say that they go faster than the speed of light. Yep, I would say that.
Mallet says the two cool guys for Donner and Blitzen.
Yes.
I think the 2 cool reindeers, and he's saying this sounds cool. Okay, so let's go back over to the browser.
Yeah, apparently Rick's replacement is in the chat.
Yeah, which is another version of Evan. So we'll continue to ignore him. No. He says you can't ignore me, Rick. Yes, I can. I'm focusing on the person I'm supposed to be focusing on.
Yeah, but you didn't ignore him by responding to that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is looking like pretty good, real good art. This is a good artist for sure.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I don't know. Well, I guess we should go over the tiers. I guess that would be a good idea.
Sure.
Let people know.
Yeah, they're pretty simple.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. We have a lot of digital options for people who might be overseas or who, I think I understand it's not the optimal way to read it, but I want to have that option for people because I think it's just a good thing to have. I think, and I know that some people don't do it because they lose money. But I am just printing floppy comic books. It's not like this is something that has a huge, like you have to read it this way. Where I do think there are some crowdfunded books that are hardbound that I think it would be a disservice if you read them in a PDF. This is just not that way yet. Hopefully, eventually, we will have a hardbound book with all the issues together in it. But right now, not so much. So yeah, we do offer the digital.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah,
digital is great for people who are perpetually broke like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it starts at $8 thing. BRIC-A-BRAC. Get your copy of the digital for $8. And I do know this guy's name. This is Ryan Haack. It's even in the title of the episode thing tonight. Evan. Christopher says, stop dancing and answer. How do they get anywhere in time? Because faster than light travel is very slow. Do they have wormhole technology in their world?
No, there are no wormholes. They just kind of, I mean, the thing about it is that like Father Christmas, every day is basically Christmas on Planet Christmas. So Father Christmas, he really doesn't. They don't often fly. Really, he's on the ground a lot with. He kind of like, yeah, he's really on the ground a lot with the reindeer. It's very rare that they actually fly in this world, and it's not like Father Christmas has to go to all the different houses in Planet Christmas every single night because every day is Christmas. He just kind of goes from village to village and gives them toys. And it could happen maybe once every month or something like that. It's kind of like if you've seen Narnia, it's kind of like that Father Christmas idea. If he just kind of appears in the woods and there he is. So it's not necessarily that there's a specific time and a specific night and a specific, at 11:40 p.m. On December 24th, he's going to be there. It's not really like that. It's kind of just
all time is always Christmas.
Yeah, and he's a wanderer. He's a wanderer.
Plus, I'm not to argue with that. Faster than light travel isn't slow because it just defines anything that's like just a hair above light speed to infinity. That's a huge gap. Some of it's pretty darn fast.
Yeah, yeah.
So, would Father Christmas actually be Santa Claus in this world, or would they be different?
There isn't really a Santa Claus on Planet Christmas. It's just kind of Father Christmas. He's the best warrior on all the planet. He is the most powerful being on Planet Christmas by far. There's no question. But he refuses to fight. He's a pacifist. And when people stop fighting in Christmas, his powers go away. And a lot of people in wartime don't have enough time to celebrate Christmas. Their Christmas spirit is low, and so Father Christmas does not have the power that he used to have. Therefore, he is really weak. And we only really get to see his true potential, his true power at the end of the story. But to answer your question, he's just kind of but the difference between him and Santa Claus, I would say, is Santa Claus, I feel like he has a specific time, a specific place. He has a function, whereas this guy is kind of a real person. It's not he's like he has life. He's a wanderer.
Okay.
Instead of just being there's no need to go to every children's house at a specific time in this world because it's Planet Christmas.
Okay.
So it was kind of that idea.
Fair enough. I just wanted to, maybe bring the distinction, for people.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good distinction because I think Santa Claus, I love the Norman Rockwell images. I love the idea of it because a lot of the Rankin Bass movies go with that Father Christmas, that Santa Claus. But I think that if you keep the integrity of the character and his values at the core, it's the same. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And of course, for $12 US, you can get the physical copy of issue 2. And of course, that would probably be more for the people that have gotten issue 1.
Exactly. But issue 1 is an add-on. So in any perk, you can add it on, both digitally or physically. So. Okay.
How much? Well, they say the digital. Well, I think you got them down below together anyway.
Yeah, I do. Just in case someone wants
to. But how much is the add-on for, say, the number 1 with number 2?
It is $10. I think the add-on is $10.
Okay.
So there's no shipping with it. No
Okay.
shipping with the add-on.
Yeah, because it doesn't cost that much to throw in an extra cost.
Exactly.
Do you have any idea how much your shipping is?
Well, yes, because I did do this one. It's going to be the same size as this, the same composition as this one. So, yes, I do know kind of what I'm in for. Yep, definitely. I'm very glad I had the first experience because I wasn't sure. It's hard to kind of estimate, even if you have a model of a book that you think your crowdfunded book is going to look like and you take it to the post office, it's very unlikely that it's really going to be the same weight because there's just different materials, different things. And so, but luckily I know exactly what I'm in for with this one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I missed that. What was the dollar amount? I missed that. I was looking at the chat, sorry. Or if you said a dollar amount for the state.
The dollar amount is $10 for the first one. And we'll have a variant cover.
Okay. And any idea how much for various other places, like, say, Canada?
Well, the shipping is going to be $10 for, like, say that you bought, issue 1 and issue 2. The shipping would be $10 in America. It would be $15, I think, in Canada, or maybe $12 or something like that. But nothing.
Oh. Okay. I'm just wondering, because I'm in Canada, so. And, shipping it in all these Indiegogo things is a big thing to me because, and even the price of comics, $12 is a good price, for sure, because, a lot of these things are 20 to $25. You put it into Canadian money, that's even more, and then it's, that's almost the same amount for shipping again, putting it in.
Yeah, the Canadian postal service is stupid.
Christopher says, "Hell yeah, hit him with math questions." John Dillard's here. I'm not sure whether you know who he is. He's in the chat. He's saying, "Go buy our Halloween coloring book that we've done." But I would also say go get this. So up next is the DAB Digital Deluxe. So for that you get 1 and
1 and 2. Yep.
1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely physical. Yep.
Yeah. So that's for $15. That's not bad. You saving $1. Because 8 and 8 is 16. So. How big is issue 1? How many pages?
Issue 1 is 25 pages.
Okay.
So issue 2 is a little bit bigger.
Okay. And then, of course, for $24, you can get both copies of issue 1 and 2. Oh, there's a question. Are they going to be signed by you at all?
If people want that, yes, I can do that. If people want it, sure. But they would just have to message me or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, so you're not actually charging extra. Good man.
No, I don't think I'm going to, go gangbusters on it or anything. I'll probably just, if I succeed, I'll have, probably like 250 backers or something like that. So it's not a huge extraneous thing,
Yeah.
It's a couple weekends,
Equals here. He's saying, what's up? We're talking to the writer and creator of BRIC-A-BRAC about his campaign for BRIC-A-BRAC 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love that name. It just kind of rolls right off the tongue, BRIC-A-BRAC.
Right. Yeah. It is. It could be called Christmas Adventure, but I think that, I don't know. I just wanted to do something more playful,
yeah.
And it's memorable, too. Like, you're gonna remember BRIC-A-BRAC.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, actually, there's a question. How did he come up with the name BRIC-A-BRAC?
Yeah, well, there's a song in The Nightmare Before Christmas called Jack's Obsession. And basically he's just talking about, because he really doesn't understand the concept of Christmas. And he's like really struggling with understanding what it means, what all this junk is, and he's like, there's at that point and he crunches the ornament and then, tries to make it into some chemical and it doesn't make any sense to him. Or, he breaks his little stethoscope when he's trying to look at this little piece of mistletoe and, so he's trying to do all these things and trying to understand Christmas from a Halloween character's point of view. And he says this bric-a-brac, the word, when he's trying to explain what it means, because it's just like worthless garbage to him. And so it's kind of a meta title. I thought it was a really cool thing, like a word to say, but it does have some meaning. It's just about, like bringing meaning into some of these Christmas items. Like that's kind of what the purpose of this story is to me. It's like trying to find what the meaning is in Christmas. Like, Garrett, our main character, is at that age where Christmas could just mean nothing to him. It's just stupid. It's nothing. And a lot of people believe that when they turn 10 or when they stop believing in Santa. But, he has a decision to make. And so he can either say these things are valuable, or this is bric-a-brac. This is stupid. This means nothing. And so that's kind of the title. I know it's kind of a stretch, but I really love the title. I think it's I love it. And so I think I've never heard of a title like that before. That's so playful and fun. So
yeah, for sure. And here is a $30 tier. You get
and you got John Dillard actually putting the lines to the song in the chat.
Yes. Thank you. Danny Elfman is a great songwriter,
Yeah, and a good singer too.
And a great singer. And I didn't find out. I mean, I loved obviously The Night Before Christmas, but then when I found out Oingo Boingo was a thing, I was like, Jack was in a band, and like they have pretty good songs, and it's like, wow. I mean, this is great.
And I love it too, since the actor who played Jack himself couldn't really sing. It's like, oh, I'm writing the songs, I can sing. I'll just do his roles.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and they sound very complimentary to each other. Like I didn't even notice it was a different person.
At all. Mallet, there should be a link for bric-a-brac in the description. Should be right at the top after saying about me, unless somebody wants to grab it and put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, up next is the $30 one. You get a physical copy, exclusive Jack Frost print, and an exclusive bric-a-brac bookmark.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. And then you can add on issue 1 if you'd like to that one.
Yeah. And a bric-a-brac super fan. You get physical copy of number 2, the print, bookmark, and a T-shirt.
Yes.
What's a T-shirt say? Just bric-a-brac?
Yeah, but we're trying to make it a little bit more cool. I would kind of like to have maybe one of the covers on the back or something like that. Something, maybe some like cool little designs, like on the sides of the shoulders or something like that. Just a little bit more. That's just a rough idea. I mean, I love that.
Some flavor to the shirt.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't want it to look ugly, like, and just have like a image just kind of popped on the back, but it could look cool at the same time. So I think that might be what we do. We'll have the second cover or the first cover just on the back of the shirt, and then kind of have some other stuff going on. And
well, it'd be cool is you can still have like the logo in the center, but if you tiled it, you could put like all the characters in like ornaments, and then just tile the ornaments over and over again across the shirt.
That would be really cool. So it's kind of like a sweater.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Yeah. I would. I mean, honestly, I want to make a shirt that I would want to wear. I mean, because I've always wanted to wear my own characters, my own thing. It's like, why not?
I would wear that shirt. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just want to know what that feels like wearing your own character, wearing your own thing, like wearing your own merch. Like that would be so cool.
I can tell you, it feels amazing.
Yes. It does.
And then when people ask you, what is that? Like, what are you wearing? Yeah.
Timothy in the chat says, if you had the means, would you ever animate this comic book?
You know what? Yes, definitely. As I said, I'm kind of like a filmmaker, so my dream would be like to kind of work with Henry Selick, the guy who made Coraline or James and the Giant Peach, or who directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not a very little known fact that people should look into is Tim Burton really had very little to do with The Nightmare Before Christmas. It was the real hero of that movie was Henry Selick. this amazing guy who is, a master of stop motion. And so I would love to work with that guy to make a movie like this. It would cost really low budget, probably under $20 million in movies today. That's really low, obviously. And it would be amazing. It would be amazing to make a book and, to have this book and then kind of use it as reference to make amazing movie. It would be my dream. Because I love The Night Before Christmas. I mean, it's just probably my favorite movie. And so to make kind of an ode to it that's really exploring more concepts that the Rankin-Bass movies and The Night Before Christmas, it would be really amazing. So it would have to be stop motion. There's no doubt about it. It would have to be. There's no question.
Let's see. Timothy says, making ornaments of your characters with your characters on them would be cool. Yeah, and everything you were just saying, you said that would be cool too.
Yeah.
Up next is create a Christmas character.
Yes. So last time we allowed people to create a character, and it was really cool. Obviously, when you are dealing with a book that has a huge amount of characters in it, it's really cool to give people that opportunity because there's a lot of space there where, Raphael's just kind of drawing little creatures that are little, bumps or, filling in little gaps where there's little characters that all look the same or something. So it's cool to have an opportunity for fans to put their own characters in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Create their own Christmas character and put it in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, that would be cool. I wish I could afford that one. And of course, a sketch from Raphael, 160.
Yep, and it includes all the other perks too.
Oh,
so
wow, yeah, you just keep adding on. So.
Yeah, yep, that's my style. I like to just be like, well, okay, you do this.
Proper tiering system, like a ladder.
It gets complicated though when you're like, okay, well, you get issue 1 and issue 2. Like if someone doesn't want issue 1 because they've already got it, then it's really helpful to just make it an add-on, which is why Indiegogo rocks and why Kickstarter makes things a little bit more difficult because you have to end up having way more tiers. The consensus is that people don't like looking at the tiers. I don't know if that's really true, but it's more complicated.
Timothy says, "What it is a Christmas comic without some Christmas violence."
Exactly.
And that's all the perks. Yeah, this looks like a real good book. Hopefully I will have some extra money. Where are you at? Let's let people know that. You have 16 days left. Do you have an extension time for that?
We did already extend. So as I mentioned, I might have to go on Kickstarter, try to get a new audience, but as I will not give up on this book. It means way too much to me. I fought way too hard. We've come way too far already to give up on this one. I'm gonna every single month, if we don't make it this month, I'm gonna go on Kickstarter in October and see how I fare over there. Then come back to Indiegogo for a month or maybe 2 months and see how I fare in those late months. And you know what? I think if we just push hard, something will have to happen. Something has to happen. Yeah. I hope people see that this campaign is worthy of funding because I promise you it is. And so, I just have to fight for it. I don't know why. I don't know who to get it in front of. And I think maybe Kickstarter might have an audience maybe for it, possibly that are maybe younger or maybe, again, when you're crowdfunding comics, it's hard to crowdfund books with a big goal that are for kids.
Because you got to crowdfund to their parents.
Exactly. And it's like, are the parents really going to be interested in this? The books that go really big have big action, art, really awesome art, and just, a lot of people beating the crap out of each other. And that's great. But I think that this is a tough book to get 8,000 for.
Yeah.
It's tough. I've seen a lot of kids' books get 2,000 or 3,000. I could probably do that, but it's really hard to get that high, 8,000. And so I think my thing is if I get on different crowdfunding websites, eventually I'll be able to culminate enough people to get me funded somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Timothy asks, is that a gingerbread man punching a toy soldier?
That is Marie. She's the second character, basically like the second main character, and she is a marshmallow gingerbread woman. So she's kind of like a combination of the two. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's kind of her hair is very unique looking.
And he also says anything worth doing is never easy, and you can do it.
I definitely can do it, but it's going to take a battle. It's going to take a lot of work. And I hope that maybe we could fun with this one. Maybe a little miracle could happen. But again, and I would love for people to get it before Christmas. But as I mentioned, it would not be fair of me to say in October if we fund it, you guys would get it in Christmas because it's not going to happen. But if it happened with this one, that would be great. But
how much of the book is done? There's a question.
So there's about 25% of the book is done. Yeah. So the entire backup story and a lot of pages of the sequential pages are done.
Okay, and have they all been colored, or what's like? Is it all drawn?
Yep, absolutely.
All drawn, all colored. Well, except you said it's 75%, so 3/4.
Yes.
The way done. So yeah, that's not too bad. You got another 16 days left. Yeah, something can happen. Have you reached out to who I was gonna say, what's his name, but he's not doing too much anymore. Maybe go. I'm not sure. What's his name? Church of Failure. They have
I have. I was on his. Yep.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
I've been on a lot of that. I've been on a lot of different podcasts and interview shows and all that kind of stuff. And it's a great.
You made the rounds the first time. I assume you would have done the same thing again this time around.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to run as many rounds as possible, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's hard to get people thinking about Christmas in the middle of August and September, but at the same time, I just hope we'll get a win. I think if I try hard enough, something will happen. Something will have to happen. So. Yeah,
for sure. Well, if it unfortunately doesn't fund and you go on Kickstarter, let me know. We'll have you on again and try and push it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you guys having me on. And then just it means so much to me to have people interested in the book.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to do this, every Monday for somebody, That way, it gives a chance, I was given a chance like this, go on, places. Although I did this about a year ago and I couldn't get anybody on. I did it for like 6 weeks or 2 or 3 months, and then I'm reaching out to people and people aren't getting back to me. Even now, the reason I was able to have you on so fast was I reached out to a bunch of people and they never got back to me. So, I seen you put your thing in, well, I had already reached out to you, and I guess, you didn't see it, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. And see, I get the message, because I will be on any show anyone has. I will do anything. So I'm trying to see here. Yeah, I saw you reach out on Wednesday, and then I think I saw it on yesterday.
Yeah,
so that must have been it.
I seen you write something to Pixel, and I'm like, hey, I wrote you a DM.
Yeah.
But it's the way it is.
It's very weird.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we should start wrapping it up for you.
Yeah. You were saying you all want to be on about an hour.
Okay. Well, again, you guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
We're not trying to kick you off. You can stay on if you want.
I should probably go, but I really do appreciate. You guys having.
No problem. And again,
it was fun having you on.
Yeah, and again, everybody, the link to his campaign is in the description, as well as his Twitter, his YouTube channel. Go over there, subscribe to him.
Yes, please. Yep.
And also his Instagram is in a link to that in the description as well. So
absolutely,
BRIC-A-BRAC, go.
And I'll hit you up because I run a podcast and we could talk about your stuff over there too.
For sure, that would be great. Yeah, any opportunity at all, and that also any opportunity you guys know about, just let me know. I want to get on and try to spread the word, because that's how you make it happen. I do believe, and obviously, I probably should have a mailing list, and I would love, and that's a good way to do it. I know it sounds not like effective, because I know people. It seems kind of like a myth. Like people will say, "Oh, you need a mailing list," but it does work once you get 100 to 200 to 300 people on it.
Yeah. Well, heck, just with your Indiegogo campaign, you've gotten probably every single one of their email things. So take it and make something in your email, a folder or whatever for Indiegogo people,
Yeah, exactly. And just
that way you keep them. And say you do start it on Kickstarter, you can email them and say, "Hey, I've got it on Kickstarter now."
Exactly. Yeah. So then I can just email them through that. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
That way, and that builds up your mailing list, for later on, for whatever else, whenever you do.
Exactly. Yeah, and they can leave if they want to, and they can stay if they want to, just that kind of thing.
Well, you're just sending them out a message, an email message whenever, so, they can either ignore it or whatever, or not go to it or whatever,
Exactly.
We're all used to getting 1,000 emails a day. Well, maybe
we are, and then never deleting. Exactly. Well, anyway, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
See ya.
Bye for now.
Yeah. So it's just you and I.
Okay, John, if you want to hop on, maybe we can promote the Halloween.
Oh, he was going to do a stream, but it's like 100 degrees out in his shed where he does his studio. So he kind of canceled it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the middle of the night, but it's a bad time to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Amazon here.
I mean, I guess if he wants to hop on with his phone, that's an option. But you and I are here.
Yeah.
We were very crucial in making this book too, so we could talk about it. I could tell you about all the problems we had trying to get it up. I honestly, I think John probably thought I was being hard-headed. I really didn't think it was going to go through the last time we put it up. I thought it was going to come back with twice as many problems as we had last time. And I'm glad that it actually did go up.
Oh, I didn't go to Island. Newest arrivals. Okay, what's it called? Because I can't find it here.
Hold on a sec.
Require there no sample pages of the pages you'd be coloring. Well, it says he bought 5 copies. Cool.
Yeah. Came in, get my dirty plate and stuff. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I should probably pull up that page. I haven't even been to it since it went live.
I don't know if the stream is big enough to let it go longer. All the problems we had dissipated when Metal finally listened to me. Maybe just put the link here in my chat, in the meeting chat.
You want to put in the meetup? Yeah. I had to go grab it from the stream chat.
Okay.
Because I didn't have the link.
Okay, and is it on more than just .com? Is it on all of them?
Oh yeah, anything should be. You could just change it to CA in the link. Anything that's fulfilled like that, that's their print on demand, you can get it from anywhere. They've got local printing sources.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go back over here and do browsers. So yeah, there you go. $5.50. I don't know how much shipping. Dillard's putting the link. Go buy his t-shirt, she said. Oh, and people, I do have some more products. I got my store running for Redbubble. There's a link in the description for that. You can get shower curtains, coasters with just Cross Comics on it. I'm gonna get some other stuff up there shortly. Designs. Let me see.
Dillard doesn't really get money from the coloring book. Almost nobody does, because we trimmed it down so it is as cost effective for you as possible, being that it was a community project. So if you did want to support him, you could buy his merch. If you want to support anybody else who is involved in the book, you could go and buy whatever they have to offer. But the book really isn't going to do it itself. Oh yeah, there's not going to be sample pages for like a week, I think, since they're all images and they don't have words they can just grab. The system has to format it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Dillard has sample pages up after 7 days. So yeah, well that's $5.50. I want to find. I should try and find this out. How much it is. Change.
I do indeed have the images. I could share them if you want. That's up to Rick, since he's the one who controls the screen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. There. Yeah, I'll put it on.
You want me to share some images? Let me go open them up.
There.
Let's see. I need Windows Photo Viewer.
Okay, there. Niobe Kickstarter goes live tomorrow night.
Properties.
Larry, you wanna come on next week and promote? Do the interview stuff and all that?
Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's some of the photos. We got some by Flyfox Pro, Avery. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hide it while I go over the next one. Yeah, because it's another one of Avery's, one that we deleted from the book because it was kind of lewd. Okay, now I can bring it back up. We got one by me.
Yeah, so next week,
another by me.
10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Larry?
Those are Dillard's assets. Got some by Todd, Mulrooney, Elric, who I didn't see in the chat tonight. No. I hope his house didn't get burnt down. Raggedy Man. Your artist for Canadian Shield #2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muttman. Nighthawk Warrior. Yeah, oh, now we're going to hit the Rick chain. But I think most people have seen these while you were working on them.
Yeah.
Some of them, like this one back here, there's a lot of empty space, so we just threw some of Dillard's assets on to fill it up.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Got some Shinobi Raccoon. Some of them I don't really get how they're Halloween themed. We got this very bizarre thing by Pixel Trader.
It's a
Not quite
skull,
sure
right?
what it is.
It looks like a skull, so you know. That's
Yeah. It's this weird mechanism going on. We got some John Diller stuff. I think we're gonna hit a whole row of his now.
There's Evan.
Oh yeah, let's go back. Here we go. It's Evan for everybody.
Timothy says this seems gross for a kid's coloring book.
Actually, that was an asset. Is there any more in this folder? Let me check real quick. Yeah, there's some after that. There's another. That's the cover image, but we have a version of it that's uncolored, so you can go and color it yourself. There's the actual cover. Another Dillard. I think it's either you, Rick, or John put the most images in there. You might even be tied.
Yeah.
And I think I forgot to put his name on that one. Oh, well, he signed it, so it'll match with all the other ones. I think it's because that was the last one he sent me. This one didn't bother putting a name because Gats has put his little trademark thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Another Todd. And yeah, we've got a few more. Another one by Crespo. Another by Fly Fox. Gary Shipman's, which might be difficult to color, but it looks amazing, so we don't care. Jason put in this one by his Nasser zombie. And I believe that's it. Yep. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out how much it is in Canadian dollars.
Did you just go into the link and change the .com to .ca and see if it changed?
No.
Let me. I can even check for you. 719.
Oh, that's not too bad. See if I put the exact title of the book in whether I. Yeah, there. Oh, it's not too bad. 719.
Yeah. It also still highlighted on me.
Oh, well, yeah. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, here's my new thing. You get t-shirts. You can always get that at the other place. But
The other place.
laptop sleep. Teespring.
Oh, this is a Redbubble.
Yeah.
I like Redbubble.
Transparent sticker. iPad snap case. Scan. Phones. iPhone soft case. iPhone wallet. Samsung. I might change these so the Samsung. This stuff is down a little bit,
Yeah.
so you can see the cross.
Now, if you want your coloring book before Halloween, you should order now.
Yeah.
It only takes them a few days to print it before shipping out. Complications can happen. You'd rather order it as soon as possible.
Yeah, so.
But we finished with plenty of time. I mean, you have most of the month of October. I would just still say get it now as opposed to later.
You can get Tapestry, you can get Cross Comics face sheets, you can get Cross Comics clock or bed mat. Bath mat. Duvet cover, coasters, set of 4, backpack, shower curtain, a scarf, travel mug, water bottle, greeting card, hardcover journal, spiral notebook for those that are interested. So yeah.
I do like the ease of options for like just setting everything up on Redbubble real quick. Like I try to do a Teespring, and I feel like it's quicker to do something on Redbubble than it is on Teespring.
Yeah. I got a.
But it's good to have it in multiple places. You can get it where people like it.
Rebel says, "Laugh out loud. I need to make these things." Ha ha ha. So.
I'm gonna make a X Dynamis Chaos bath curtain.
Yeah. I just decided, let it do all the stuff. Why not? So what if I'm a little bit competing with myself for some of the stuff? But they've got a whole bunch of things that Teespring doesn't have. Teespring, Timothy. Teespring and Redbubble.
Yeah, I typed them both in the chat too,
Yeah.
just so he can see them read.
Yeah. So yeah, this is good, author John Dillard. Weight dimensions, 40 pages. Is there an official ashtray? Unfortunately not, Christopher.
You need a comics plunger. There's another one that he can't remember the name. I know there's a lot of t-shirt places. I don't know if there's another one like them that puts it on everything. There might be,
or a whole bunch of stuff. If I could, I would actually do the ashtray. So yeah, go there. And then of course there's BRIC-A-BRAC. Don't forget BRIC-A-BRAC, guys. Or Cross Comics Birdhouse. So yeah, that was good having him on. That was really good. I liked it.
It's a good show. It was fun.
Yeah. Some of these aren't too bad at prices. Or you can get your Cross Comics socks. Tall mug. Zipper pouch. I'm gonna have the Canadian Shield on these very soon, within the next couple days. So if anybody wants the Canadian Shield on this stuff, I don't think anybody wants an art print of just Cross Comics. Or canvas print. Or
well, I think you need to go and edit the phone case and move your logo down on it so that people can actually see it and the camera's not cutting it off.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that. And then there's the metal print. The Cross Comics. Again, I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah, but you know what you can get? A metal print of the metal. See, it's kind of like meta on multiple levels there.
Yeah. Bullet saying the cock coloring book looks good. Cocks make me happy. I'm not sure about that book. But yeah, go grab yourself a spectacular Cult of Raven Spectacular 2020 coloring book. So I don't know. And if I ever ordered it...
Timothy has a good idea. You need to make a bird feeder that will feed way too many birds.
Yeah. Okay, so it's there we go. That's good. Uh, I don't know what to do for the next half hour.
I don't know. Usually the guests last longer.
Yeah. Well, they've been only lasting an hour lately, only wanting to go about an hour, so. Then
I don't
again,
blame them.
yeah, neither do I. Sometimes we get all talked out. It's hard to tell what's going to happen, you know?
A lot of times when it comes to pitching, you just don't have much more than an hour to talk about before you run into everything that you're willing to share. You want to leave something to the actual product.
Yeah, for sure. Well, maybe it's like, afterwards we'd talk about it or our feelings or whatever. I don't know. But, although I do like it. I hope I can get the money. It looks cheap enough.
Yeah, I might get it digital. Probably get both because I was interested in the first one.
Yeah.
I probably had money by the time the campaign was over. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned who it was and I saw the BRIC-A-BRAC, it's like, oh, dude, I know this story.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is a good one.
Yeah. And now we got next week lined up. Niobe. I'm not sure which one for Niobe. If you're listening, Larry, send me a couple pictures so I can put on for the whatchamacallit, a cover picture
I mean,
if
you can
possible.
probably just find the pictures real quick.
Yeah.
I could probably find it. This stuff's pretty accessible.
Yeah. Well, number one, no, it's not up yet on Kickstarter. It launches tomorrow, so I'll probably get it off Kickstarter tomorrow. 100 people for all you know says you should try ignoring the chat for another 30 minutes. I could go back up and read all the chat.
Yeah, no, there is 100 people for all we know, but I happen to know it's just Evan 100 times.
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't ignoring the chat. I was, allowing people to speak on things. So you don't really want, unless somebody's actually asking a question that might somewhat contain what's going on.
Well, it's kind of like selective hearing. It's just selective reading.
Yeah. You want to make sure it pertains to the thing at hand. Unless it's supposed to be joking, and then allow everybody to have a laugh and then move on.
Oh yeah, well, because like Evan had a joke waiting for like 5 minutes, and I was just waiting for an opportunity to present it without being rude.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Well, it's a problem, but it's not a problem. You just gotta wait till the right time to bring up some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Christopher says he was shilling. Let the man work. 100 says 100 people for all you know were going to buy that book. Poor guy's book, but you blew it. Who knows? Who knows where this stream will go?
Oh, probably into a dumpster fire. That's going to be my guess.
I just gotta put it.
Oh, you want to hear something interesting that I found out recently?
What?
Don Bluth?
I'm not sure.
He is a very historic animator. Made movies like Rockadoodle, Land Before Time, Anastasia, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Even at the age of, I believe he just turned 83, up a new animation studio that's going to focus strictly on hand animation.
Hand animation?
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Slayer 2, which they're making a live-action Dragon Slayer movie on Netflix. But yeah, he's basically making a new hand animation studio, and it's going to be a renaissance of hand-drawn animation.
Oh, so it's just animation
Like
drawn
old
by hand. I'm like, hand
Yeah.
animation.
Oh, no, okay. Well, hand drawn. Some people just drop the drawn sometimes when they're talking about it, as opposed to like digital. I'm sure plenty of hands will be animated, though. Typically, that is the case.
Dylan says Rick forgets.
Traditional animation works too.
Dylan says Rick forgets about the chat when he has guests on. He's very nervous and self-conscious. We can see Rick blush with his new RAM. Now we can see him fumble and bumble. It's all quite embarrassing.
But I'm excited. I love
Yeah.
Don Bluth films, and I like hand-drawn animation, and I can't wait to see this renaissance happen if it actually does.
Well, now I do have new RAM. It's in the new computer came RAM with it, so it's new RAM. There's also, compared to the laptop, 8 more gigabytes worth. So instead of 8 that the thing had, I have 16, I believe.
Yeah. Well, they did specifically label it hand-drawn animation on the announcement, not traditional, but that is another name for it.
Bullet says, "Oh, Rick, you sweet summer child." Yes, I am. Since being born on June 24th, I'm officially summer baby.
And one of the cool things is, there obviously you can't get 100% transparency because you can't be showing literally everything you're doing all the time, but they're going for total transparency with the studio. So they're like streaming processes, like character development, the penciling, the actual like cell drawings and stuff like that. You get to see basically the full process as something's being made, because it's the new age and people don't care if it slightly spoils the story. They want to be part of the action, so they get attached if they get to see things being created.
Yeah. It says, Bullet doesn't get it. When you are giving examples of an artist's body of work to see if someone is familiar with the artist, you should start with the most well-known, probably, not Space Ace. Well,
I mean, Rick used to watch cartoons. You probably actually would have been familiar with the Space Ace cartoon.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking it was a video game. So.
It was a video game first, then they made like a Hanna-Barbera style cartoon after it.
So, I remember hearing about it, thinking the video game when there was thing. So, and hello, Eagle. Eagle's here. Eagle saying Space Ace is greater than Dragon Slayer. Timothy says he's barely.
It's a more playable game than Dragon Slayer. I know that for sure.
Oh yes, and just to let everybody know too, Saturday and Sunday nights, I'm starting up a movie night on Discord. Sunday night is bad movie night. Saturday is just supposed to be movie night. Right now, I'm going through the Fast and the Furious series. So if you want to get on Discord at about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and watch a movie with me.
American Tail is also, very well-known one. Secret of Nim, Fern Gully are also well-known Don Bluth films.
Yeah.
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah, Dylan says, oh, I'm sorry. I had no idea Space Ace was more well-known than The Land Before Time.
We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. That's a good one. We try to forget about the Pebble and the Penguin. Don tries to forget about it, too.
Where is it?
He actually wanted his name stripped off that movie, and they wouldn't.
But, yeah. Yeah, I'd say he's a good artist. But many artists on there, so it's hard to tell which one is which. But being on a project of that size would probably mean he's or projects, that many projects and projects that size.
Yeah, he's obviously the
Great
lead
art.
character designer and storyboard, but even then, you probably have people doing keyframes at that level just from how many scenes are done, and then even more assistants filling in the frames between the keyframes.
Yeah.
100 people, for all we know, wants to know why I won't let Dillard on the show. I'm not the one in charge of that.
Dillard's got a link.
Well, he wants to know, because he asked you before why Dillard wasn't allowed on the show until your guest left.
He was allowed on. He had the link all the time. I just figured he might want to. I said about him coming on at that point because figure promote the the Spooktacular and have him on to do that. He could have been on before that. It was just I was making an extra effort of him coming on because promoting this book. Rick takes his show very seriously. He is aware that I may ask interesting and evocative questions. He won't allow somebody to possibly take over the interview.
What are you talking about? He lets me take over all the time.
Hey, if I'm running out of questions and somebody asks questions, I almost don't care.
Well, I try to wait. I'll let you get through what you want, and then once you're like, does anybody else have questions? Okay, time for me to steer this interview into some positive direction.
I thought I asked some pretty good questions at the beginning today.
Yeah. You actually, well, it's the same ones you always ask, but you actually consolidated them and asked them with direction instead of kind of like petering off.
Yeah. I'm slowly.
And he was also prepared to answer these questions too. Half the people aren't.
Yeah, that I like the sort of longer answers. Unfortunately, a lot of people come on and answer like I do. short little answers. Timothy says, "Don't make Dillard mad. He made Billy got you." Eagle says, "Has anybody read Grendel? More specifically, Grendel's Devil's Odyssey?" I know I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't read it either. But you can always send it to me. I'm willing to read anything that somebody sends to me as long as it's not porn. That's about the only thing I won't read if you send it to me.
Mal says, "Thank you, Metal, for making it better."
Oh, you're welcome.
Dylan says, "Yes, Rick took the opportunity after I shared my awesome short to instead share his mediocre short chipped off. Hey, I shared both of them. Hey, and I gotta try. The Spooktacular isn't gonna get me a lot of money. Not that my Redbubble or Teespring are, but the Redbubble is actually new, so I figured I'd show it off quick. Since we had the time. And Timothy says, "Do you mean instead?" I'm not sure what he's talking about there.
Oh, it just says stead. Like in space stead. I don't know why he's being nitpicky on that, but I think that's what he's with Dillard's comment.
Oh, okay. Joe, probably just
because Tim and Dillard's got this thing going on, right? They're playful banter and stuff.
Yeah, 100 says, "We want to know why you don't plan out your interviews ahead of time." Where would the fun be in that then? Planning something else like that? Asking off the fly?
Well, I mean, you have like a mix of things, right? You kind of like plan out some things to do, but then let the conversation steer naturally. If you're starting to peter off, you've got your cards, your backups to know where to pick back up from.
Dylan says, "Rick, this coloring book will make you 300 times more money than your store has ever gotten you, guaranteed. The fun would be for the audience, Rick, dummy. Yeah, well, that's my point. What fun would it be for me to have it planned in front of my audience? I think to get
Well,
more.
I mean, when I had Jason on my show, I had it planned. I let it take its natural course, but I had different things I wanted to talk about, and I waited for opportunities in the conversation, natural breaks to transition into the next subject and stuff like that.
You know, I think people get fun at laughing at me, stumbling and bubbling through this stuff.
Yeah, there's probably a level of charm to that, but I don't know.
It'd probably be better.
That would be better in general. Yeah.
Then again, you can only, you look at most of these campaigns, and there's not a lot on them a lot of times. Because there's not a lot to do with that. You just gotta, I think you gotta end up asking a question, figuring out a question, or a few questions, and
Yeah.
hope.
Well, that's the best part, right? You've got plenty of questions. If you read the campaign and you're like, I don't quite understand what this is or characters or anything, any question you would have for a reader would be a great question to be answered for the chat.
Yeah.
But I also have to kind of agree with Tim here. That's just Rick being Rick. I think even if you planned it out, you're still going to end up stumbling and bumbling to some extent.
Yeah.
So we're not going to miss it.
Inks versus colors on the short. You mean Eagle?
You mean like just inked black and white versus having things colored, or
just on it, Rick? Oh, I do. That's what I was, saying. Where would the fun of that be, Timothy? I stumbled and bumbled a little bit right at the beginning, and then, I started.
I thought the show was pretty good in general.
Yeah,
it was one of the better episodes.
Yeah. As I get more into the routine of doing it, my brain starts to work. It's not that my brain hasn't worked before. It's just like, it's a different facet of doing this that week. It's just a different facet of stuff. Something that, I'm not used to doing, so, maybe I need to watch 1,000 interviews to get an idea.
Timothy wants to know how long you've been doing this.
About a year ago, I did, I'm not sure how many episodes. Give me a sec.
While you think about that, Dillard says, Rick, if I would have known you purposely wanted your show to be bad, I would have never paid Evan to help you with your audio.
Oh, there's some ways that I want it bad, as you put it.
Yeah. Oh, Eagle does mean black and white versus colored. I think that depends on the story, right? Especially if you're doing like a horror or a noir or something. Just they're better in black and white. Maybe you could put like a touch of color here and there in a deluxe edition, but I think certain stories look better in black and white with heavy shadows, and some things look great in color, especially if you're doing like a children's story and you want characters and themes to really pop. So I don't really have a straightforward answer on that.
About a year ago, I did about 18 or 19 of these with different people. Well, no, some of these are from the new part. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had done about 11 of these, so about 3 months worth of talking to people, and then I think I was starting to get the hang of it, and then I couldn't get anybody, find anybody, so I gave up. And now I've been doing it for, this will be my 9th one today. So I've been doing it for about 9 weeks, 2 months again. Dylan says, like for instance, if the artwork looks like Tim's Melvin cover, leave it black and white, put it in an expensive frame and Ooh, that's mean, John. That's very mean. Yeah, but Timothy did say as bad as Dillard's cartoon. So. I guess it's.
And Eagle wants to know if that's the Shadowrun lore. No, I think Dillard is preparing the ritual he's going to take with his harem manga when he's done with it.
Dragon only safe space. Rick, will you ever tell us where Brandon's are buried? I don't know, and don't even know if they're dead.
I think he's assuming you're the one who buried them.
At least this Brandon's working out better than the last few. Oh, let's see. If you want to call them all Brandons. There was the action artist, then there was Brandon, then there was Scott, and then I don't think there's anybody after that. Eagle says the Brandons aren't buried, they're stuffed with this guy.
Heavy Rain was awful. I don't get how people like it. I tried.
Oh, is that another one?
I couldn't.
Is that another one that should be added to the list?
No. Assuming he's talking about the game, Heavy Rain.
Mallet says Brandon has a YouTube, but he did, but I think he shut it down.
It would take way too long to get through the game. Like, well, not way too long. It's just it would take more than a single sitting.
Yeah. Well, it's Jason. Jason, okay. I'm not sure what you mean by why are you saying Jason? Bullet.
He's quoting stuff, man. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, okay. Just as long as he's quoting stuff that I don't get.
You could just be yelling Sean over and over again. That would, you probably wouldn't get that either, but it'd be relevant. Sean! Press
From
X to Sean.
From the Day of the Dead or something like that? Or one of the zombie movies, I think. For Sean?
Oh, well, there's Shaun of the Dead, but no, we're talking about Heavy Rain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Brandon abandoned his YouTube, closed it down or whatever. Or maybe he just left it. Not sure whether he abandoned it or closed it down. I haven't heard from him in probably over a year.
That's what everybody in the chat should do. Everybody in the chat should press X to Sean.
Bullet says, I think you know why he left his YouTube, Rick. Yeah, because of all you guys. Keeping up the cover story. We're going to finish Evan's hair manga since he died. Nothing but greatness. Rick, When are you going to play detective games? Does Batman count?
Dillard's never seen the movie Seven. What? Dude, we gotta watch that. That should be on the list. Well, no, we can't watch that on your server. That's it's a fairly tame movie. You watch the TV cut, but I don't know if it's quite within that realm.
What's in the box?
Yeah. What's in the box?
Okay,
I know what's in the box. I can tell you.
He's been busy ripping off the tick. Okay, what's with the X, Eagle?
I told everybody to press X to Sean.
Oh. And he's the only one that did it.
No, I did it. Christopher did it.
Because some people are so protective.
Yeah, his dead wife's head was in the box. It's a good movie. Like I do highly recommend people watch it. I believe the title is spelled like the word seven, but there instead of a V, there's just a 7 in the middle, like that.
The Mallet says he needs to come on and liven himself. Well, I can give you the link, Mallet. You can come on for the
I
next
wasn't
night.
going to spoil it, but somebody already spoiled in the chat. Eagle.
I was kidding, he said. Okay, well, oh well. That's it, you end anyway. Watch Pink Flamingos. Well, there's if you want to put that in the Discord, Christopher, there's a spot to put it.
Yeah, label what you're gonna recommend them though, because it's all one movie suggestion chat. So next to it, maybe in parentheses or something, whether it's like good movie night, bad movie night, or old movie. I think we're doing those midday or morning, something like that.
Yeah, we haven't figured everything out yet. And also maybe a rating on it. Let me know the rating beforehand. I would prefer to keep things around PG. If something slips in like it did with Surf Nazis.
Dude, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's been like a decade since I watched that movie. I didn't realize that there were bare tits in it.
Yeah, well, like I said, it wasn't a couple quick scenes and
Yeah. Yo, Tokyo Zombie would be good for a bad movie night.
Again,
I think it's good, but I watched it after John recommended it to me.
Well, John has the. Can you get in the Discord and put it in that one? Christopher's laughing. PG, it's a John Waters movie. Okay, I have no idea what that means.
John Waters is famous for making like intense and creepy stuff. He's actually kind of a creepy guy himself. He just kind of like wears that aura to him.
But this week we're doing Too Fast, Too Furious on Saturday night at 10. And on Sunday night we have Rubber. Mallet says it's about a tire that gets sentient.
Yeah, it's a sentient tire who's got like psychic superpowers and rolls around and kills people. But there's more to it. There's like meta levels to the movie. You could tell they were trying to make a bad movie, but they were trying to subvert it being a bad movie, and they thought they were doing something clever. But in doing so, it just actually made the movie genuinely bad, and you have to watch it.
Mallet says metal, not mallet. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I screwed up. But yeah, everybody's welcome to come to that. They start about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I We have a chat for people that don't want to talk during the movie to type in. So you can do that too. So it's meant to have a good time. It's something that I can do with the Discord that I think everybody should. Hopefully, people can get interested in. So, Jilla says no one loves Pete as much as Rick.
I don't know.
What a
Have you
perv.
seen Shinobi Raccoon's drawings? There's usually always a woman's foot in them, facing the camera, like foreshortened.
Eagle says he supports clams. I mean plans. Oh. Yeah, tonight was good. I'm gonna be ending an hour early. Maybe I can finish getting all the Canadian Shields taped, so I can start have them all packaged up tomorrow. And I just gotta put the trading cards that George is sending me in all the packages. And
Well, I mean, I just looked at the time too, and it's like, oh yeah, didn't we didn't start at the normal time. It's like there's no way that we've only been in here up until 10 o'clock. Like what?
Also, everybody, there will be no high noon tomorrow because I mixed up the days. My mom's going to see the eye doctor tomorrow, so I'm not sure whether she's gonna need help getting home, with eye drops or whatever. They're gonna put that sort of stuff in her eyes. So I'll be going with her for that. That's an appointment at 11:20. So I'll be lucky to be on the bus back home by 12. So, but we will be back here, of course, for tomorrow night for After Dark.
Mallet, you know very well I'm not going to be up in time to do high noon. He wants me to start doing a 2 o'clock show, but I need to schedule it. Like actually set up and do it.
Yeah, you take over after me. Yeah,
If you're not doing high noon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Dillard says. If you're not doing high noon, you should just do another hour now. Unless you're chicken.
He did not say unless I'm chicken.
It did too.
Oh, no, he did. Well, I could, but I'm not sure what we're going to do.
You really want to see him flounder for another hour?
Yeah. Unless you're going to come on.
Rick trying to call me a liar. Just because your chat's slower than mine and I saw the unless you're chicken first.
It's probably due to the restream. Restream's a bit slow. You're probably getting it direct from the YouTube.
Oh yeah, I've got the YouTube open in the tab.
Sometimes if this one starts lagging the YouTube or doesn't put it in, then I bring up the YouTube. But it's actually been good tonight. Eagle says, Rick, the Freebirth are trying to claim the Star League. I have no idea what that means, Eagle.
He's talking about Battletech, the Shadowrun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Dillard actually would love to see you flounder for an hour.
Yeah. Somehow I thought he'd put something like that.
It's probably because he's got nothing better to watch.
Yeah. But I probably should go get to bed early. Gonna have to be out of that early, but I'm gonna have to be out of here right at 10 tomorrow morning, I think. To be up there for 11:20. Maybe I'm gonna have to be out of here just after 10.
Oh, I think Mallet is challenging John to go on with him for an hour.
And I'd say it's that time again, but it's an hour earlier from that time again. But it could be the symbioticness of that time again.
Well, if you're watching it sometime in the future, like the playback, then for you, it's always that time whenever it comes to the end of the show.
Yeah, true. The 2-hour mark. Dylan says he would love that for them to go on together. Okay, well, are you guys going to do a show, you and John? Mallet and John? Should we send people over to your channel? Tell them to look out for it. Mallet says, John, send me a link. I'll go smoke.
Start shamelessly plugging myself.
Dylan tells me to mind my own business. Hey, I'm trying to help. So,
Yeah.
on you. Okay, well. Guys, everybody, I'll let you promote first.
Oh, it's the same stuff. Just go to xtimeischaos.com. And more so, go to Amazon and pick up the Cult of Raven Coloring Book 2020 for Halloween. If you get it now, you'll probably have it before Halloween. Yeah. It is on time.
Yeah, mine said a week.
Despite their efforts.
Mine said a week to deliver, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thanks, Mallet, for coming on. Of course, although you can't hear me at the moment. Thanks, Ryan, for coming on and promoting his thing. Rick, why no links for Mattel? Well, he put the thing there, and he's got a.
I can always drop my own link. I'm a mod.
Yeah.
I'm a big boy.
Mallet says, "Why didn't I come on? I have no idea." So yeah, go check out his Indiegogo, and of course, go check out the Spooktacular Cult of Raven Spooktacular 2020 coloring book for Halloween, and also go over to Redbubble and check out my new store and get some stuff there. And yeah, I said about going to Indiegogo for BRIC-A-BRAC too. And I guess that's about it. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day.
See you, everybody.